30 seconds. Good evening. Welcome to the November 20th, 2013 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. At this time, I'd like to remind everybody if you could put your cell phones on mute or turn them off, that would be greatly appreciated. Would you please stand and repeat after me?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Applications heard during tonight's meeting will be voted on by the Planning and Zoning Commission during the meeting tonight. The Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation on these applications will then be submitted to the St. Charles County Council for their final decision on the items. The individual items or bills will be introduced at the Monday, December 2nd, 2013 County Council meeting. I see we have a quorum. Will someone move that we open the meeting?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. The first matter of business, I would like to introduce our new Director of Planning and Zoning, Robert Myers. Welcome. All right. And the following documents are introduced as a matter of record for the public hearing and regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. The Unified Development Ordinance of St. Charles County, including zoning maps, and the year 2025 master plan for St. Charles County, which includes the year 2025 future land use plan map. So just to give a kind of roadmap, I will read each application into the record. Then staff will give their analysis and recommendation to us. We will then open the floor to the applicant if they choose to come forward and explain what's going on and answer any questions the commission may have. We will then open it up to the public, where anybody in the room that wishes to speak on the application may do so. We will then bring the matter back before the commission. We will discuss it openly and then vote on our recommendation, which we then given to the county council for their final decision. The first application is application 20924 by Village Square Management LLC owner/applicant. The application requests a rezoning change from R1E, Single-Family Residential District, 7,000 square feet minimum lot size, and C1, Neighborhood Commercial District, to C2, General Commercial District. The property is located on the northeast side of St. Peter's Howell Road and the southwest side of Harvest Drive, approximately 600 feet northwest of Tully Drive. The property consists of 1.8 acres and is located within Council District 7. Staff?
It is zoned C1 and R1E. Other zonings in the area to the north is C1 Neighborhood Commercial and R1E. To the south is C2 General Commercial District. To the east is R1E Single Family Residential, and to the west is R1E Single Family Residential and C2 General Commercial District. The 2025 land use plan shows commercial land use along the front to a depth of 200 feet along St. Peter's Hall Road, and single-family residential, low-density residential for the area to the rear that is currently zoned R1E. In reviewing the rezoning application, staff is recommending denial based on the fact that denial of the R1E zoning. Based on the fact that the future land use plan shows that area that's currently zoned R1E, and they've requested C2 based on the fact that that is shown as low-density residential on the future land use plan. The portion of the site that is zoned C1 that they wish to zone C2, we're okay with recommending approval for that. Based on the other C2 uses, we've allowed a car lot next door, which is a conditional use permit in the C2 district. So the C2 zoning is consistent with what's in the area. We did receive a letter from Councilman Joe Cronin, and I will ask if there's any questions.
Any questions of staff? Is the applicant here? Come on up. Can you raise your right hand for us? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Can you state your names and addresses for our record, please?
My name is Doug Tiemann. I'm an engineer with Pickett, Ray and Silver. Our address is 22 Richmond Center Court, St. Peters, 63376.
Robert McBride, I live over in Glen Carbon, 265 Fountain Drive, Glen Carbon, Illinois. I'm the owner of the gymnastics.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
First, I'd like to explain what the property owner's wanting to do with this property and get you familiar with it. I don't know if you can
Yeah, they'll take care of that in the back. Just go ahead. Just give it one
see
second.
that, or I can also
There we
do
go.
it.
Yeah.
There we go, okay. Right now, the property owner has a building that's located right here, which is a gymnastics center. They have a number of classes and events there. They have existing parking immediately to the north of that building, approximately 57 spaces in that area, and they're in need of additional parking. They have talked to adjacent neighbors, and they do have commercial properties north and south, and tried to work out parking arrangements with them, and haven't been able to get that secured enough for them. What we're looking to do is we're looking to expand the parking lot to behind the building to the east and go behind it on 3 residential lots that were residential lots, which did have some buildings on it at one time, but now are vacant except for one garage, and basically build a parking area behind that, which would create 47 new parking spaces, which would give them a total of 114 parking spaces, which meets what they need to have in that area. We've been very careful to look at this and try to build a parking area that really addresses the neighbors. And we do know, we are aware that we have residential neighbors next to us. There's also a drive, Harvest Drive, that's further to the east, which if you've been on the site, that road actually ends just right in this area. You can see that the road ends, and the area we're talking about, the parking, is this vacant area just to the east of the building. This road ends right now, and there's no buildings, there's no street there's a paper street there, but the street has not been extended, and the lots behind that actually access it and go further east to serve those properties. So this road does not extend down this area. As you move further to the north, it's heavily wooded. There's a ravine there with a creek in it, and what we're proposing to do is basically subdivide that property, create an area that would provide the additional 47 parking spaces, but we would leave a portion of it, it's the wooded portion, as residential, so it would provide a buffer to all the properties to the north, to the subdivision to the north, and to the east. The only place that we would be touching that area is on Harvest Drive, and also this one residential lot that's in this area. What we're trying to do is access everything from, we'll be accessing from St. Peter's Howell Road. We'll be driving through the parking lot and going up into it. It will not have access to Harvest Drive. We will have a fence up there, a site-proof fence that we will construct that will go along that parking, and we will not access Harvest Drive as part of this. So it's going to be totally contained. One of the things, even though this parking's not, it's the best place we can put it to serve the needs there. The staff would be able to park into this parking area up there and leave the lower parking area that's adjacent to the building. Very flat area for the parents and for all the people that come there. Bob's going to explain a little bit more about the kind of clients he has and the number of classes and that type of thing. And he's also going to explain to you that he's spent time in the neighborhood and talked to a number of people there and got their support on this. If you've been to the site, I'm sure you've looked at, this is a blow-up of it. As you can see, it's a very ugly piece of land, and Bob's actually cleaned it up and took down some of the bad stuff on it and cleaned it up and got it and improved it already. So he's purchased it, wants to try to figure out a way to get some parking, and you can see in this photo, he's not able to go to get parking anywhere across the street, and we're trying to keep it close. So that's a breakdown on what we're trying to do there. I'll let Bob speak.
Generation Gymnastics operates under the name Flipside Gymnastics. We have approximately 520 students, ranging everything from 3 years old up to high school. If you have kids in gymnastics, you know that everybody wants to be there between 4 and 9 o'clock at night. So the schedule of classes is very heavy during that time, which creates a lot of people. What has been happening is the parking lot gets full. To support that many kids, 20 of these spaces are just our teachers. They have been parking in the school lot across the way and crossing the St. Peter's Hall Road to get to the gym. I think it's very, very unsafe, and we've been trying to rectify it for a long time. These two lots became available when the couple that owned it, the previous husband of the wife, it's a long story, ended up dying. Him and his son became the owner of it, and they decided they would part with it. So I've been looking very hard to try and figure out how I could get that ground attached to mine, and Doug was able to come up with a plan that works very well. The only thing that's in the way of doing anything back there is a power line that is between the two properties, and it turns out nobody even knew it was there, including UE, until I cleaned up the lot. And it is a pole right behind our building that dead ends. There is a transformer on it. It doesn't supply anything. I've already talked to Union Electric, and they're perfectly willing to take it down and move it. The only thing that comes off that pole is my phone wire, and that's it. My biggest concern was what would the neighbors think. So this past summer, I went around to every house in the subdivision back there. There's 39 homes. I was able to talk to 29 of the 39. The rest of the people I just didn't catch home in 2 visits. Every one was very much in favor of it. As a matter of fact, I've got a petition signed by them. No one objected to it, no one at all. The only question was asked was, would they be driving through our subdivision? And we made it very clear to them that no, we'll cut this parking lot off completely from the subdivision and put up a privacy fence, and there would be no access there. This street actually ends on the house next door to us, not in front of these lots at all. It's all completely overgrown and rutted at the end of the street all the way down to the creek. I have graded off and taken a lot of the brush and stuff off of the lot, the 2 lots, 2 30-yard dumpsters and about 6 dump trucks full. If you go over there now, you'll see how it'll lay out and everything else. It's in pretty good shape right now. I'm just asking for support to try and help the business. We're struggling with the fact that we can't grow without more parking. It's just, people just will not sign their kids up unless they've got a place to park. Yeah.
I have a question. Since most of your activities are 4 to 9, are you going to put additional lighting out in that parking lot?
Yeah, we've been thinking about how to do it that wouldn't disturb the neighbors.
That's what my concern is. If
Yeah.
you told them when you petitioned them, told them you're going to be looking at lights.
Yeah, and there's actually on the back of the building a dusk to dawn light now. But in the past, it didn't even shine on that lot because of all overgrown brush and stuff. There's no question in my mind that we'd have to do something with lighting up there, and I'm thinking something low to the ground, below the fence line. I haven't really thought about how to design it yet, but I think that's the answer.
I asked that because we've had a lot of different applications when somebody's going to put a storage yard and everything, or the hours of operation, and one concern with neighboring property is usually light, and whether it disturbs their natural environment, so.
The neighbor to the house directly next door, that's a rental property. The owner of the property has no objection whatsoever. He thinks it'd add to his property, not take it away. There is one house directly across the street. The lady that lives there is, she would like to see it happen just to get rid of all the brush that's in front of her house. So I don't think the rest of the houses are too far away from the light feature.
The property just south of yours is used for car sales, correct?
Yes.
What kind of lighting do they have? I know that car
They
lots
have
usually
highlights, front and back. all
Yeah,
the way up to the
I know car lots have significant lighting overnight, so that was just a, it's nothing, from my perspective, it's nothing they're not, in the proximity, people aren't, they're pretty used to lights like that with the car lot right next to it.
To the north of this is the creek. There's nobody living there for it to disturb it.
The only item I would like to add to that is, the only reason we're requesting this commercial zoning is because this is the only zoning we can get to put a parking lot in. We have no desire to do it as a true commercial use. I think you understand that. But that's the only use that we can go into and put a parking lot on this property.
As far as that garage is concerned, it's in rather poor condition. It's still full of the ex-owner's stuff that I can't seem to get him out of there. I would like to redo put new siding on it and everything else, and use it as storage for the business. That way I can get rid of the storage container, the storage building that's on the parking lot now. But it's not a must.
Is your business one where you might be able to have larger groups come in for functions that you have, or you just need more individual people coming in there for classes, or is this going to be a way you're going to obviously improve your business?
Yeah, I've owned this thing for 6 years. It was a labor of love for my daughter. That didn't work out. And now I'm stuck with it. The business has been hanging in the, we have slowly but surely grown to about 500 kids. It needs, we are this year, 2013 is the first year that a profit's going to be made on this business. It's been 6 years. I've got a ton of money tied up in this thing. Without it getting up, the building can support 700 to 800 students. But I can't do it unless I can get parking enough to. I actually had a buyer for the business at one time who turned down the purchase because parking was too small. So the idea is, more parking, the kids are safer, the parents don't mind bringing their kids and dropping them off and that kind of thing.
Okay.
This property, it says it consists of 1.8 acres. Are you intending to pave this parking lot?
Yes.
The 1.8 acres?
No, the 1.8 acres, an awful lot of that will be the leftover wood. You probably read something, aren't you?
The only portion will be paved is the parking lot. That'll be the only portion that's paved, and I can't remember exactly what that area is. I'm going to say it's a
Can't be more than a quarter acre.
yeah,
Well, it's three 60-foot lots.
and
Is what it
about,
amounts to.
I'm going to say 0.4. It's just the parking area. Approximately, and I just looked that up, approximately 61% of this area is still going to remain as wooded or grass area. Virtually everything that's from the edge of that parking lot, there's a steep slope that goes down, and the woods are going to remain. Only 39% of that area will be paved.
So where's the water going to go?
Well, that's what we have, we've already designed, and if you can see on the plan, There's a BMP that we're gonna collect the water. It's gonna run down towards the existing building. It's gonna go into a curb inlet and go into a BMP, which is a, basically like a rain garden that we've located right in this area. And that will, it's gonna flow into that area, and it's gonna be held in that area before it discharges and goes down into the creek area.
Right now, everything's going directly into the creek.
Yeah.
Now, everything goes directly into the creek.
Yeah, what sheds off the parking lot goes into the creek. So we're actually gonna be, with this, with a BMP, we're actually gonna be able to take this, the additional runoff from the parking area and run it through that feature.
Any other questions for the applicants? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We will now open this up to the public, so if there's anybody in the room that wishes to speak on this particular application. See.
these petitions?
Anybody? Yeah, you can go ahead and hand it to Jan.
Make
We
it
can-
part of the
We can
record.
put it in the record. Yeah. Seeing no one from the public, we will bring it back before the commission. Any comments, thoughts, suggestions?
I would make a motion to approve.
Okay,
Second that?
all right. Ms. Polly, how do you vote?
Clarification, approve what as written here.
That's the way I understood it, but yeah.
Yes.
Yes, approve.
Did you read Mr. Cronin's notes on that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just throw that open for a second. Any comments on that? Do you feel strongly or not?
there's been a motion and a second, so it's the parliament, I mean, we had a chance for discussion before the motion. Ms. Polly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Settley?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Mr. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
All right. Motion is approved, 8 to 0. The next item on the agenda is application 21007 by Brad Goes, applicant / representative, Pickett, Ray and Silver Incorporated engineer. The Crest over Katy.
That was tabled.
Well, no, you
It's
still have to vote on it.
requested, but it's still an application, and then we've got to go through the motions at the very least. The Crest over Katy Trail Land Partners LLC owner / developer. The application requests an amendment to the cluster development plan for the preliminary plat of the Crest over Katy Trail. The property is zoned R1A, single-family residential district, 1 acre minimum lot size. The property consists of 31 lots located on the southern terminus of Napa Lane. Staff?
The applicant has requested that it be tabled, so.
For the request of the applicant, I move this application be tabled.
I'll second.
Well, is the applicant here? Okay. Is there anybody in the room that wishes to speak on this? We'll go through the motions, just because someone from the public may not have gotten a notice. All right, seeing none, we'll bring it back before the commission. There was a motion to table by Mr. Ellis to continue this to the next meeting. It was seconded by, all right, Mr. Leonard. All right, Mr. Leonard, how do you vote?
Yes.
For tabling?
To
Mr.
table.
McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Polly?
Yes.
Mr. Settley?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
All right, the motion passes. This was continued on to the next meeting, 8 to 0. Moving right along. The last item on our agenda is application 21008 by Brad Fail, applicant / representative, Donald J. Twillman and Dolores M. Twillman, revocable living trust owners. The application requests a conditional use permit for a telecommunications tower 100 feet in height. The property is zoned C2 General Commercial District. The property, known as 29 East Highway N, is located on the north side of Highway N, approximately 1,400 feet east of Highway Z. The property consists of 7.8 acres and is located within Council District 2. Staff?
All right, thank you. The subject site is Zone C2 General Commercial. My area's zonings are all agricultural, and land uses include single-family residences to the north. To the south is agricultural. To the east is a single-family residence, and to the west is a water tower. We did hear this case and approve it on July 20th, 2011. Staff did recommend approval at that time. We find that the cell tower is appropriate next to this water tower. It can kind of be masked back there behind the water tower. The Board of Zoning Adjustment did grant variances for the setbacks and things. Those variances stay forever. The conditional use permit had a 2-year time frame. The conditional use permit expired in September of this year, so they just missed it. So staff is recommending approval again, subject to the following conditions. The telecommunications tower shall not exceed 150 feet in height. A site plan must be submitted to and approved by the St. Charles County Community Development Department. The tower shall be painted a single color that shall be indicated on the site plan. No lighting or outdoor signage except for warning signs and signs indicating owner contact information limited to 2 square feet each shall be authorized within the conditional use permit site area. A minimum 6-foot-high chain link fence will be required around the facility. The approved conditional use shall not commence on the site until such time as all improvements required by and approved on the site plan shall be built and approved. This conditional use permit shall be null and void if no improvements required by this permit and authorized by a duly approved site plan are installed or built at the subject property within 2 years of the effective date of this ordinance. And we did receive 2 letters, one from MoDOT and one from Councilman Cronin. Any questions for staff?
Is the applicant here? Raise your right hand for us. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Can you state your name and address for a record?
Yes, Eric Martin, 211 North Broadway, St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Eric Martin. I'm an attorney for St. Charles Tower. We appreciate getting the conditional use permit approval back in 2011. We, as Jan noted, we just missed the timing of the CUP being effective, and so we are now asking again that the CUP be granted. This is an ideal location for a cell tower. It is an area where it is much needed. You have very high traffic areas in this neighborhood. You've got Interstate 70, Interstate 64 close, as well as Highway Z and N. This isn't a commercial area, and really there was great care taken in the selection of the site so that it would meld into the surrounding area. Here is a photo sim of the tower. And the variances that were obtained helped to place it in an area where there will be very minimal visual degradation. In granting the variance, the Board of Zoning Adjustment stated that it is aesthetically prudent to locate the proposed telecommunications tower as close as possible to the western property line, and so that's what we did. And you see here that the tower is shown being close to natural vegetation. And what you can't see right here is that there's a very large water tower, which melds in again very well to this telecommunications tower. So again, there's great need in this area given the high traffic volume. It's an ideal location because it is a commercially zoned area, and care was taken in this site to make sure that any visual disruption was minimized by placing it close to the water tower and the trees. So for those reasons, we would again ask that this body approve this conditional use permit so that construction can move forward.
Any questions?
Is this going to be a multiple telephone tower?
Yes. It will be built so that there can be co-locations, again, to minimize the need for such towers in this area.
Yeah.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right, thank you.
Great, thank you.
We'll now open this up to the public, so if there's anybody in the room that wishes to speak on this, they may. Seeing none, I will bring it back to the commission. Any comments, discussions?
Motion to approve.
All right. It's been moved by Mr. Griffin, second by Ms. Polly. Mr. Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Mr. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Ms. Polly?
Yes.
Mr. Settley?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Fromm, who is not here. Mark the other two, and I forgot to mark that one. All right. The application is approved, 8-0. The next item on our agenda is the approval for the minutes from our October 16th meeting.
So moved.
There's been moved to approve and it's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Is there anything else that we wish to bring to the meeting? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. See you next month.
Yeah, that was good. Why was quick as last?